All right. That was good to get back out and practice. I feel like it's been forever since we've had a practice. With player day off on Monday, Tuesday was a lift and run, and then we pushed everything back, this morning. So it just feels like it's been forever since we've practiced. So it was good to get back out there. Part of the deal with this week is to try to get our guys back, get their legs back up under them a little bit, and yet still get some work. So we'll get a little bit more work tomorrow. And then the players will have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
How much of this week is about Carolina, or is it still kind of more like internal?
Well, there's still a few things that we're working on just in terms of ourselves. And yet we've begun that process in terms of getting ready for Carolina and part of the game planning process.
Marshawn, full participation?
He would have been, I don't know if we have to say anything, but I think he would have been limited today. But he was back out at practice, and things look positive for him.
Dennis, without giving up too much of his specific role, I mean, I know the concept of a number 2 receiver is sort of a false concept, but is the vision for Rashid Shaheed like more snaps, more volume, more responsibility?
I think
than in the past?
I think that's dependent on him. What's the volume that he can handle? And if he can go out and execute a large volume of plays and continue to be a playmaker for us, then yeah, I think we'll see more.
And what is it that he most needs to show that he can do? A variety of routes?
Well, look, I think this. I mean, we have a new offensive staff, and he missed a ton of time in training camp. So I think that's still, to be seen. So I think we've got to get into some of these practices. We saw a few things today. Look, the encouraging thing is he certainly looked fast. I thought our guys, I thought there was a lot of speed on the field today. So, that was good to see. And so I think with him, it's him in a new system with new coaches, and our coaches seeing what he can handle, and the things that he does really, really well. And I think that's going to be a work in progress. If I'm the play caller, then I'm needing to see a few things to really know, hey, this is what this guy does really well. This is how I can put him in these positions to have success.
When you have a guy like Rashid, who's obviously the all-pro returner, but he's also going to be more involved in the regular offense, is that something you have to balance? Do you have to kind of limit that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to see how everything plays out, first and foremost, and then we'll make decisions, what we think is best for us and our team, and gives us the best chance to win. And so, I think we'll just have to see, what that volume is in both regards.
What's kind of your approach or the message to the team that, when it comes to like blocking out outside numbers, just kind of folks in the season?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I've spent a whole lot of time talking about it. I think we got enough things going on here to focus on and, handle our business with inside the building. I think that's just one thing that you have to, learn to do as a, whether you're a professional athlete, you're a coach, you're in the front office, whatever the case may be. We have a profession where, everything that we do is lived out in the public eye, and everybody has opinions on, what we're doing well or what we're not doing well, and that just comes with the job, and so, but we don't really spend a ton of time, talking about it.
What do you like about John Ridgeway? What's kind of the
Well, look, I think he's big, physical, and I think, he's a young guy that, we kind of liked in the draft process. And so I think, if you're able to add a guy like that, it's a defensive tackles don't grow on trees. There's not a lot of, 6'4", 6'5", 320-pound human beings walking the earth. And so when you find one that you think's got, some athleticism and some power, bringing somebody like that into the fold is I don't know that you can ever have enough of those type players.
How much did Colin Saunders' injury kind of add maybe the need to look for another one?
Well, look, I'm sure that's probably some of it, and yet, we were going to need to add another defensive tackle anyway, whether it be on the practice squad or the active roster, whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't say that was the driving force to that decision.
You guys didn't add any offensive linemen from outside the building, and do you feel better about having the right candidates in that group overall?
Well, yeah, yeah, I do. And look, each situation is different. If we felt like there was a guy that was available that could upgrade our football team, then I feel like we would have done that. And again, people aren't just giving those guys away for free either, So I think we continue to look at all options available to us and see if they make sense for us. If they do, then we try to formulate a plan to execute it. And if they don't, then we got to move on.
I have a question on Derek. Last year, when we talked about the criticism, you made it pretty clear that you thought the criticism he received was unfair. I'm wondering, how maybe, do you think he was maybe graded against Drew in the Kirk? You guys Drew Brees.
I think everybody's great against Drew here. I just think that's the nature of our business, and I think it's always difficult to follow a Hall of Famer, and so that's challenging, and I think that's the standard that we're used to here, and so. We've got to get back to being able to perform at that type of standard.
And you've seen him embrace that and all those sorts of things?
Yeah, look, he's embraced the competition. He's embraced, proving himself. He's embraced being the quarterback here. I think he's in a really good spot right now.
And as you talk about the standard and getting this team back to where it was, how important is this season for you personally?
Yeah, I think every season is important. I don't know that there's ever been a coach that's gone into a season saying, this one's not really that important. They all are. So I don't try to think about or worry about, what can happen if, every day I've come into work since I've been a coach, I've come in to try to do the best I can to help the team win. Whether that's as an assistant, whether that was as a coordinator, whether that's been as the head coach. And so I don't think you go about your job any differently, and so that's what I'm doing.
The returner you guys found, is that a spot that you guys wanted to add something to it, or is that just obviously?
Well, look, I think a few things there. I think, he's a big back. All right, he's got return skills, and he's got 4 core capabilities, and so I think that was something that we were looking for. Not necessarily as a running back, but who has some return skills and who has some 4 core, capabilities, and so he's a guy that we were extremely high on in those regards, and excited about getting him.
Is there any, doesn't have a ton of carries, do you see him in the mix at running back at all? Or?
Well, I think that's going to take a little bit of time. The cool thing for me, and I think for us, is, that, he was in the system early on with Clint, and then I don't think what they're doing in Minnesota now is too dissimilar to, what we're doing here now. And so I think there's going to be some carryover in terms of the scheme. So I think it remains to be seen. We'll see, what he can do. But we're excited about working with him.
So maybe a dumb question, can you elaborate on what you mean by four core?
Yeah, so that would be kickoff return, punt return. Those would be your 4 core special teams deals. All good? All right, thanks, guys.